Hello friends, this video on structural organization of animals part 12 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. With this, let us talk about the dense connective tissue. The first dense connective tissue which we'll talk about is ligament. What is ligament? A tissue which connects two bones. As I mentioned before also, that we say that bones form the framework of the body. Now, in order that bones should form the framework of the body, bones need to be connected to each other. So there has to be something which will connect one bone to another, and that something is ligament. It connects one bone to another. It is a fibrous connective tissue. So the connective tissue has lot of fibers in it, and that is why it is called fibrous connective tissue. Which type of fibers are present? Mostly collagen fibers and elastin protein. These are the type of fibers which are mostly present in ligament. They are considerably strong, yeah, of course. It is an elastic tissue, however, some flexibility is there. Little extracellular matrix, not too much of extracellular matrix is really present here. So the next one is tendon. Now this tendon and ligament, both of them are dense connective tissue. Why they are dense connective tissue? Because of this extracellular matrix. They do not have too much of extracellular matrix, so not lot of open space. Wherever you have more open space, you say it is loosely packed. If it has less open space, you say it is densely packed. So this is a densely packed connective tissue. That is why dense connective tissue. So tendon is nothing but a tissue which connects bones to muscles. So please do not get confused. Ligament will always connect bone to bone. So your ligament will connect bone to bone, whereas your tendon will connect bone to muscle. So please remember BLB and BTM. So bone to bone is ligament, bone to muscle is tendon. So this is again a fibrous connective tissue. They also mostly contain collagen fibers, good strength, limited flexibility. So if you talk about flexibility, ligaments provide more flexibility when compared to tendon. So here in this picture you can see this is one bone, this is another bone. So bone to bone they are connected by this red color strip which you see here, this part. So this is connecting these two bones together and this is your ligament. Now if you want to connect this bone to a muscle, this is your muscle. So muscle to bone is connected by tendon. Right? Now you might ask, why do we need to connect bone to bone or bone to muscle? Now bone to bone, why we need to connect, that is pretty simple. If you want to make the framework of the entire body, it is not made up of one single bone. Correct? So bones to bones need to be connected. Why do you need to connect bones to muscles? Because muscles are the one which actually causes movements. The contraction and expansion of the muscle fibers causes movement. So your bones need to be in coordination with the muscles so that the movements can take place. So for that coordination, there has to be a connection between bone and muscle. Now we will talk about the loose connective tissue, where it is not that densely packed. There is quite a lot of empty space. So in that we are going to discuss about two tissues. One is areolar tissue, the other one is adipose tissue. So first we will start with areolar tissue. It is a loose connective tissue, that is cells are widely dispersed in extracellular matrix. So there is a lot of spaces between two cells. It is not that they are very compactly arranged. Some of the characteristics of areolar tissue are loosely organized fibers, abundant blood vessels and enough empty space, and because of this enough empty space they are called loose connective tissue. Areolar, aero, it is derived from the word air. That means lot of empty space, lot of air. That is why it is called areolar tissue. So where do we find such tissues and what is its purpose? They bind skin to muscles. Okay, now you see bones got connected to bones, bones got connected to muscles. Now muscles will get connected to skin, so that if there is an interconnection between everything. So these tissues again, even though they are loose connective tissue, but they are not that soft as well. They are strong enough to bind tissues, yet they are soft enough to provide flexibility and cushioning. So at the same time they give a cushion like feel and flexibility, but yet they are strong. So they can bind the skin to muscles. They fill the space inside organs and holds them together. So wherever there are empty spaces in between organs, it fills that space, areolar tissue, so that all the organs fit in or remain in their own space. It is most widely found in vertebrates. They also repair tissues. They help in tissue repair as well. Now, sometimes the appearance of the areolar tissue becomes similar to dense connective tissue. Sometimes, not always. Sometimes it is seen that the empty space is not that much. So it looks like a dense connective tissue, but actually it is a loose connective tissue. So where do we see them? It is found in space between skin and muscles, surrounds blood vessels and nerves, bone marrow. So these are some of the places where areolar tissue is found. So the structure of areolar tissue, it is loosely connected. So extracellular matrix is again a fluid matrix made up of proteins. What are the cells which are embedded in the matrix? Many types of cells are present basically. Some of them are macrophages, fibroblasts, mast cells. These are some of the cells of the areolar tissue. So they contain many different types of cells. So here in this picture you can actually see the cells. These are the cells which are present, and this is the matrix. So the matrix is fluid in nature. Widely dispersed are fibroblasts. So that's what wide dispersion is expected here, because they are loosely connected. Cells are generally connected by ground substance made of collagen and elastic fibers. So here in the matrix part, it is made up of proteins, but fibers are also present, and those fibers are mostly collagen fibers and elastic fibers. And because of their presence, this type of tissue provides a lot of flexibility. And now the last type of connective tissue, that is adipose tissue. So what is adipose tissue? This is a connective tissue which mainly acts as fat storage site. So it is basically storing all fats. So now you know, right, what happens if too much of fat storage is there. Too much increase in adipose tissue what will happen? It will cause obesity, increase in weight, because too much of fat will get accumulated. Where do we see them? It is found in bone marrow, breast tissue, as well as below skin. So these are some of the common areas where it is found, and its purpose is to provide insulation from heat and cold, provide protective padding to organs, and reserve lipids which can be utilized as energy later. So see, these are some of the very common things. Whenever you have too much of fat, this provides you insulation. That's why you will see that a person who is very fat will feel less cold than a person who is very lean and thin. That is because of the insulation provided by the fats within his body. And moreover, fatty things will provide cushion-like appearance or cushion-like feel to all other organs. So it will be a kind of protective padding. And also fats are nothing but lipids. So you can store them for now, and then you can use them as a source of energy later when the body requires more energy. So talking about the structure of adipose tissue, the extracellular matrix here is not present. So the extracellular matrix itself is absent. What about the cells? The cells forming adipose tissues, well, there are many types of cells which are present. Most abundant are adipocytes. So for bone it is osteocytes, for cartilage it is chondrocytes, for adipose tissue it is adipocytes. So here you can see these are the fat droplets, and this is how the tissue looks like. Now obesity occurs, that is too much increase in weight occurs when the number of adipocytes increases than the desired number. So the number of adipocytes or the adipose tissue cells should remain within the desired limit. Excess nutrients which are not used immediately are converted into fats, and then these fats are stored in this type of tissue. So I think this was all about connective tissue. We almost discussed all types of connective tissue. As I said, thank you. Please visit www.examfear.com to watch more videos, attempt free online test, get free study material, find tutors and mentors. Thank you once again.